Good evening, all of you. My name is Dhaval Gandhi. I'm a chartered accountant, currently serving as director of Navkar Digital Institute. I welcome you all on behalf of Navkar Digital Institute to this wonderful webinar where we are going to talk about the international courses. Before I start explaining about international courses, I'll try and very clearly say that we keep it more as a casual meet. And I'll be very clear that it's not going to happen that today in one session, probably of half an hour or maybe 10 minutes plus minus, I'm going to talk about all the international options. No, friends, it's not going to happen like that way. Precisely, I'm going to keep a series of webinars for this. So today, probably we'll talk about all the options under the international course umbrella that we have. Tomorrow, probably we will talk about in-depth coverage of one of the course. The day after tomorrow, we will talk about some other course. So there are so many international course options. So today we will just talk about the basket, the umbrella, that what are the options that we have under the international course category. Friends, before I start explaining that, I'll just try to create an understanding or importance of what we understand as an international courses, or what do we have actually under the international course umbrella in the commerce category or the commerce segment. So friends, precisely speaking, there are so many options. Options like there is something called CPA, there is something called CMA, there is something called CFA, there is something called ACCA, there is something called CISA, and so on and on. Now, when we talk about, let's say, CPA or CMA, ideally that also have various options. For example, the CPA has three different versions. Like, for example, there is a CPA which is there in US, which is called US CPA. Parallelly, there is a CPA which is also called Canada CPA, and then there is a CPA which is Australian CPA. Basically, CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant. The way we have chartered accountancy in India, we have certified public accountant in various countries. As I have already mentioned, CPA is having US CPA, Canada CPA, Australian CPA. So, various options. Similar way, when we talk about CMA, it's called, there are two options. One is what we have as an Indian CMA, another is what we call it as US CMA. Now, when I say Indian CMA, it stands as Cost and Management Accountant or Cost Management Accountant, while the US CMA stands as Certified Management Accountant. So there are differences over there. There are different requirements, eligibility, and all those things. So there are so many options available. But before I, actually go into all these options, I would like to first pitch in why actually one should go for an international course. So ideally speaking, I belong to, or we belong to Navkar. So Navkar is one of, is considered as the pioneer in CA coaching, or precisely we call it as India's biggest platform for CA coaching under the umbrella of Navkar Digital Institute. Now, ideally speaking, when I say we have, we are the pioneers in CA coaching, we also understand, or we also believe that with CA, you will have the best qualification of accounting and auditing and taxation in India precisely. Because CA is considered as one of the best, at least in terms of accounting, auditing and taxation. We don't have to go into another discussions like then people will say, no, IAS is better, or someone will say, no, MBBS is better. So let's not go into that. When we talk about accounting, auditing and taxation, precisely CA is considered as this. Now, when you already have such qualification, or when you are thinking of a possibility of going for this qualification, why you should go for the international course? So that's where I'm talking about. With Indian CA, probably you are eligible to get a job in any part of the country. Since we are from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, I always start with that you can get a job in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, or you can go to Maharashtra and you will get a job, because Indian CA is considered as valid across the nation. You may get a job in J&K, Jammu and Kashmir, or you may get a job in West Bengal, or you may get a job in, let's say, Chennai or Kerala or whatever options they have. But the point which you need to understand is this qualification will entitle you to get a job or a work requirement only in India, because Indian CA has a validity across the nation, but as I said, only across the nation. Yeah, it has a validity in some of the countries like Dubai considers Indian CA. So UAE region basically they consider Indian CA, or let's say I think Nepal considers, Bhutan I believe also considers the same. So basically 3 or 4 countries, not more than that. While when we talk about international qualifications or international courses like CPA, which I believe is valid in more than 189 countries of the world. So that's why I say it's a global qualification. Now with Indian CA, you may get a job in India. Maximum you can go to Dubai. With US CPA, I think your course, your qualification is valid in 189 plus countries of the world. So ideally speaking, when you think of only specialization in account auditing and taxation and you want to limit yourself to India, I think Indian CA is enough because you have achieved the par excellence. That's it. But ideally speaking, when you, along with the specialization, think of globalization also, you need to go above the Indian CA part, and that's where we think of US CPA or Canadian CPA or what I say is Australian CPA. So this options will work in those cases. Similarly, when I talk about US CMA also, that also has a validity in more than 189 countries of the world. So this again is a global qualification. ACCA precisely, we say that it is valid in more than 200 countries. I mean, on a lighter note, I always say that ACCA is basically UK British course. So during 200 years, 300 years, Britishers have ruled almost every country of the world. So wherever they have ruled, their course is also valid. If you talk about India, so Britishers have ruled in India also. So ACCA is also a valid degree in India. It can easily help you to get a job. But they have ruled in so many other countries, so their course is valid in almost every country of the world. So the point which you need to understand is when you talk about courses like CPA or CMA, I'm talking about global, US CPA, US CMA, I'm talking about UK ACCA, I'm talking about international CFA or US CFA. These courses are global, that has a validity across the globe, so you can get a job anywhere across the globe. More important, if someone is of the opinion that, sir, what if I don't want to go outside? So can I get a job in India? Yes, because these courses are valid, equally valid in India. So ideally speaking, nobody can say that with Indian CA you can get a job in India or you can go for a practice in India, and with global qualification you can go for a job outside India. So I mean, partially it is correct because with global courses you will get a job outside India. But point is, with global courses you will also get an equal opportunity of job in India. So, somewhere down the line, if people are of the opinion that my mindset is very clear that I don't want to go outside India. So why should I go for an international course? So point which you need to understand is, today you are of the opinion that you don't want to go outside India, but then also you can go for the global qualification, which will help you to get a good job in India, and in future, if the circumstances, because today is a global era, there are a lot of people who think that I don't want to go outside India, but when an opportunity comes, they easily shift. I mean, it's altogether a different topic that why people from India go outside. I don't want to go into that. But the point is that whenever an opportunity comes, people do prefer to go from India to outside India. So the point you need to understand is, let's say, currently you are of the opinion that you don't want to go outside India, but still we believe that you go for an international course like CPA or CMA or something, get a global qualification. Currently you don't want to go outside India, that's okay. You do a job in India. This qualification will also help you to get a job in India. And in future, if a situation comes and you get an opportunity outside India, I would suggest you must. And at that point of time, you don't have to think that I have to start from fresh. because you have a global qualification which will entitle you to get a job outside India. So this is the understanding or concept that I want to put into it. That international courses are globally valid, but that doesn't mean that they are not valid in India. And you know what happens is, there are so many students that I've met in last 6 months or last 1 year who probably are not having any awareness of this course. I mean, today only, if I talk about today morning, I met one of the students who has given 3 times Indian CA exam of foundation first level itself. He appeared for the first time, he couldn't clear it. He appeared for the second time, he couldn't clear it. He appeared in May 22 for the third time, so May or June, whenever the exam got exam conducted. He appeared for the third time, but again he couldn't clear. Now his father is a known to me, so he approached me saying that, yeah, can you guide me what alternatives or options do I have now? Because ideally speaking, he doesn't want his child to keep on giving more and more and more attempts. So he was like that, I don't want him to do only BCom because that's not going to help him to get a good career. And he was like that MBA is a good option, but still, unless you do MBA from IIMs or topmost institute, it's not going to help. So do we have any other professional course apart from CA, since CA is not working? Now I told him that, if you would have asked me this question 5 years back, or if you would have asked me this question 10 years back, there was only one option with Indian CA, and that was CS, or let's say even the other option is Indian CA, because that was the scenario 10 years back or 7-8 years back. But in today's era, if someone asks me that what alternative options or courses do we have, I'll suggest you 10 courses. I would say it purely depends on your current scenario, that like BCom is done or not done. BCom is still going on. You are in first sem, second sem, third sem, fourth sem of BCom. These things matter a lot. But there are options. For example, if we always say on a lighter note that if BCom is going on, we suggest that you go for UK ACCA or US CMA. While if BCom is already done and you are pursuing MCom or something, or what we say is post graduation, then along with that we always ask the student that you should try and mix it with US CPA, or again you can even work for UK ACCA. So there are a lot of options that we have. Even US CFA can be worked out post BCom. So there are a lot of options in international courses. We will discuss that one by one in all the seminars or all the webinars that we have. But currently, as I say, that if a scenario is there that you are continuously trying to get a work on Indian CA, which is one of the best courses in India, but somehow you are not in a position to do it, I would straight away suggest, please get yourself, taste yourself in any international course, and you will get the benefits. You will get the fruits. That is something which we always suggest, because today is an era of international course. So one more thing, if a student would ask me that, sir, I am already done with Indian CA, that is the chartered accountancy part, Indian chartered accountancy part. Now, should I go for a globalization? So I would say yes. The reason behind that is, why to limit yourself? Global, दुनिया बहुत बड़ा है. Why not? Try and get some international qualification. Sky is your limit. Currently, you are restricting yourself to India. I'll share one of the experience. Navkar's owner is Hitesh sir. He is the owner, managing director of Navkar Group. Now, he is a friend who recently completed US CPA with us. Now, when I talk about Hitesh sir's friend, so Hitesh sir is somewhere around 47, 48. So obviously his friend who has studied with him during his college days or CA days, would be definitely around 47, 48. Now, he was working, he's still working in one of the MNC. In MNC, he was looking after the Indian division as a CFO. Now, he met Hitesh sir, approximately around 1.5 years back or 2 years back. He asked Hitesh sir that I want to pursue some international course. So Hitesh sir asked him why. Like, you are working as a CFO in one of the MNC, though Indian division, but a CFO is a CFO in a multinational company. Now, why you want to do this? Is it for just knowledge purpose or what? So he said, no, actually I want to move from MNC's Indian division to the global division. And precisely I am one of the strongest contender to become a CFO of the global division of the company. But point is, I don't have any global qualification and I don't have knowledge also with regard to, foreign accounting or the international forte. So that's the only reason I am of the opinion that I would like to go for US CPA, and with this probably it will become easy for me to move into the global arm, maybe directly as a CFO or maybe initially as something else and later on as a CFO. And friends, he met Hitesh around, as I said, 1.5 or 2 years back, and in last, he immediately joined us for US CPA and he did complete it, and I would be happy to say that currently he is working as the CFO in one of the global division of the company. Now that's the power of international course precisely. If I say there's something called even the Big Four have their accounting division, auditing division in India. Their auditing divisions are there in India, and they have so many other divisions. Now, they also have their global divisions in India. For example, EY, Ernst & Young. So Ernst & Young has a local division, and they have GDS, which is called Global Division. And when they hire you from Indian perspective, they hire you in local division. But when they hire you from global perspective, they hire you in GDS. And if at all you guys are aware, there is a huge difference in terms of packages. And the reason is also important. Like, for example, what happens? A multinational company that has a unit in India, they do their accounting, they do their auditing. Now, their accounting and auditing happens not only in terms of Indian accounting standard, but they are also required to comply with international financial reporting standards, which is a normal thing because they have a unit in India as well as they have a unit outside India. So when they prepare their financial statement, they have to follow Indian accounting standards as well as they have to follow IFRS, which is called International Financial Reporting Standards, or US GAAP if the company is in US. Now, since they are supposed to follow Indian accounting standard and US GAAP both or IFRS both, when they are hiring an accountant, a chartered accountant or a certified public accountant, what they will always see is they will try to hire a person who is having Indian CA as well as US CPA, both the qualifications. Reason? Because in that one person, they will get a person having an expertise on Indian accounting standards because he is an Indian CA and he is also a US CPA, so he has an hands-on experience on US GAAP or IFRS. So by hiring one person, they will be able to get both the solutions, Indian as well as US. So they are not going to hire only an Indian chartered accountant. Precisely, they will only prefer an Indian chartered accountant who is also holding an international qualification. Similar thing happens in Big Four, because Big Four are the companies who are doing auditing of this company. MNCs का audit कौन करता है? Big Four ही normally करता है. So now, when Big Four is auditing this giants, so when they are auditing the accounts of giants, the accounts that has been prepared as per Ind AS as well as per US GAAP. So the person who is auditing this is also required, that person also requires knowledge of Ind AS as well as US GAAP. So if you have done Indian CA as well as you have done US CPA, so then you are a right choice for Big Four and their global division, because now you have a thorough knowledge of both the. So ideally speaking, if someone would ask me that, sir, I'm already a chartered accountant, why should I go for global qualification? That's where I told you. You will become part of the niche field, and that niche will definitely help. I mean, try and understand. If I say in Ahmedabad there are 15,000 chartered accountants, I'm just putting a rough number. And in India, if I talk about, there are probably 4 or 5 lakh chartered accountants. I'm not sure with an exact number. Now try and understand, if there are 4 or 5 lakh chartered accountants, how many of them are, apart from being CA, have a global qualification? I believe 1%. So when you say that you have done Indian CA, probably out of 140 crore, you are part of topmost 4 lakh or 5 lakh. But when with that Indian CA, you have done a global qualification like US CPA or UK ACCA or anything parallel to that, probably I think you are part of the niche. Out of 140 crore, probably you are around that 4,000 or 5,000. I think that's the best solution that can ever work out. So, if you are done with CA, don't stop yourself. Now, if you are not done with CA, I would genuinely suggest that you should explore the international course option. That will help you to get a qualification easily, because the passing ratio in international courses are always better than the Indian courses. And that I'm going to talk about the subsequent seminars or webinars. But point is, as I said, that with CA also, I believe you should definitely explore the international course option, because that's going to help you a lot. And I would add on one more point, that it's not only in financial terms, in terms of value also, the international course brings extraordinary exposures. So I'll tell you an example of one of the students that one of the recent examples of the student, who did US CPA with us, and she completed her CA with us around age 22, 23. Everything got cleared in first attempt. So by I think 22, she was a chartered accountant. And she joined one of the MNC. I cannot name the company, but point is, she joined one of the MNC. She worked there. Currently also she is working in the same company. She worked there for a period of 2 years. Then suddenly one day I got a call from her saying that, sir, I want to pursue an international course. So I said, okay, we don't mind, but what is your objective behind that? She said, sir, don't disclose it to any other person, but precisely my parents are exploring my marriage proposals outside India. Now, ideally, the reason is valid. See, you need to understand that if you are exploring the proposals outside India, then don't you think so that this international course will help you? This is specifically, I'm talking about girls, because if you will get married in India, okay, Indian CA will help you to get a job in any part of the country. But if you get married outside India, when you go abroad, again you will have to study something. It's better you do CPA or you do CFA, and this will definitely help you to wherever you go. You go to US, you go to European countries, you go to Dubai, Australia, any country you send, I think this global qualifications will help you to get a job. And what time does it require? For major courses, for example, CPA, CMA hardly requires 1 year. It's a short-term course. CPA requires only 4 papers in 1 year. And it's so easy to clear. Same with CMA requires only 2 papers, hardly 8 to 10 months, not more than that. ACCA depends on what is your current qualification, because ideally it has 13 papers, but if you are a chartered accountant, you just have to give 4. If you are not a chartered accountant but done with BCom, probably you will get few exemptions. So that I'll discuss on a specific day when we'll talk about ACCA. Today I'm just talking about general. So you may count maybe around 1.5 year, 2 years, depending on what current qualifications you have. But you definitely have an opportunity to go for it. Similar way, CFA, what? Maximum 2 years. I mean, even if you are done with CA or you are not done with CA, with BCom, CFA requires maximum 2 years, I think. In one go, you can clear it if you are focused. So ideally, all these options would work out. So as I said, for girls, this would be a great option if at all your family is exploring your marriage proposals outside India, because at the end of the day, this will help you to get a job in any part of the world. Actually, one more thing which I would suggest, someone, someone has mentioned in the chat box that, sir, is it really that these are short-term courses? So I don't know. The person has not mentioned the course that he or she is saying, that whether he or she is talking about CPA or CMA. But the point is that if you talk about CPA, I have already said 1 year is enough. See, if you are spending 3 hours a day for study, I think 1 year is enough. If you are probably spending 5-6 hours a day, it's less than a year. What, 8 months? Someone would say, sir, is it really possible to complete in 8 months? I'll give you one example. 2 years back, we had a student who joined us immediately after her pregnancy. Because when she got pregnant, she, took a leave from she left the job and she focused on the pregnancy, and with that, she wanted to, sharpen her age. So she said, let me study something with pregnancy. So immediately after pregnancy, probably immediately after pregnancy, in some days she started. Before she delivered the baby, she completed it. Now, I cannot give a better example than this, that whether international courses can be done in short term or not. So that's very much feasible. And people who are working in corporates are also trying, and not only from India, globally people are trying. So I had, just 2 days back, I think today we are on Thursday, so I'm talking about, I think, Monday. Monday I had a word with one of the students in UK who has already done MSc in finance in UK, and she was exploring the CFA opportunity with us. She said that currently she is working in MNC, but she wants to go under some investment banking division, and for that, when she inquired, she identified that the right option is actually USCFA. So she was inquiring with us, and on Monday only, she might have done a lot of study, and on Monday she called us, and by the evening she subscribed the course and she started studying. Today morning I was talking with her that whether she started, whether she needs further guidance or not. But point is, even the people who are in corporate, who are doing excellent work, are exploring the international course option. So this would again lead to one more question, or one more answer rather, I would say. Can a working person also apply for international courses? Answer is yes. So friends, on this note, I would say that one should definitely think of international courses irrespective of what is their current scenario. Whether they are done with just 12th and are exploring options, can they go for international course? Answer is yes. Whether they are done with CA and or any other parallel course like CS or Indian CMA, and they should go for international course, answer is yes. If someone is just done with BCom and exploring international course, and whether they should go for international course, answer is yes. Irrespective of your age, irrespective of your current qualification, if you really want to build your career, international courses are the future. And frankly speaking, in last 5 or 10 years, 10 years back, even I have not heard of international courses in India. But today, I believe that there is a market of international courses in India. And 5 to 10 years down the line, definitely the market is going to be even bigger. So the moment I would say international course का market बढ़ेगा, so opportunities भी बढ़ेगी. So today, if you do it, you will start getting fruits from today but real benefits you will get somewhere down the line 10 years. So that's the ideal suggestion that we always give to the students who are planning for international courses. And you can stay tuned with us for today. I'll just, as I said, I'll keep an casual meet only, and I'm just exploring the I was just creating the awareness or importance of what do we have as an international course today. From tomorrow onwards, daily we'll talk about one course. Precisely tomorrow, I think I'll talk about CPA, and I'll need around half an hour. So daily I'll talk about one course. Tomorrow probably I'll talk about CPA. The day after tomorrow I'll talk about USCMA or whatever. Like as of now, I'm very clear that tomorrow I'll talk about CPA. And if someone doesn't want to wait and is in hurry, I would just say that, or you don't want to see all the sessions and you are of the opinion that can I get a personal counseling on the phone and I'll tell them that these are my qualifications and accordingly can someone suggest me the course directly. I don't want to see all the sessions, and that's understandable. And I would just suggest that give a missed call on our number and the team member will get back to you. I'm just writing the number. It's 82876 75000. As you can see over here, 82876 75000. You just have to give a missed call on this number and the team will get back to you. They will explain you about all the international courses. You just have to tell them that this is my current qualification or this is my current scenario. This is what I'm doing today. And can you give me an options? Can you explore me? Can you take me to all the options, or can you give me only one suggestion based on my current qualification? And yes, the team will get back to you. So I'm just ending today's session, friends. I hope you got a basic understanding that whether you should go for international course or not. And sorry, I forgot to say, the passing ratio in international courses are excellent. I mean, you talk about any international course, CPA, last 3 years average is more than 60% is passing. So every 100 students who are joining, probably 60 plus are passing. Same with CMA, again more than 50% passing. ACCA, more than 55% passing. CFA, more than 40% passing. So ideally, all of them are having excellent passing ratios. So there are other options also. We'll talk about that also. But as I said, today, I just want to end the session at this point of time on this note. I hope you guys have enjoyed the session. Thank you very much for your time. In case you are hurry and you want the solution immediately, you don't want to see all the sessions, as I said, just give a missed call on our number and the team will get back to you. Rest, I would suggest that you should refer all the sessions. You should refer all the options and then only think about what you really want to pursue. I mean, someone would say, sir, every day half an hour would mean as what 2-3 hours for at least next 5-6 days. My dear, you are talking about your lifetime. I mean, today whatever you will decide is going to be your future for next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So I think it's better you take well-informed decision rather than going into it. But still, if someone is in hurry, just give a missed call and we will get back to you. Thank you very much for your time, friends. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar and thank you on behalf of the Navkar team. Thank you.